Good evening and welcome to WCU Esports. I'm Mountain Man.
I'm JoJo's Mojo. Tonight we have WCU Slate taking on Southwestern Oklahoma State University. That's a mouthful, so we're just going to say SWOSU.
SWOSU Gray. I believe they're currently sitting at the number 2 seed in the division.
And your Mountaineers are sitting at number 5. So right now, story of Western's career so far in most games of reaching week 9, playing for position. I think from what we've seen, we are guaranteed 6th or 5th, if not higher. If we win, we could get up to 2nd.
Yeah, this is the final week of regular season play. Starting next week, we will be going into, the quarterfinals of playoffs.
Yeah,
so
that should be interesting. And unsurprisingly, we do see a Lijiang map pick coming from WCU. Arctic Peninsula being banned out of the gate by SWOSU, so should be interesting to see how things go. Loving the squid on the screen.
And we're underway here. Mountaineers in the blue, SWOSU in red.
And they will both teleport onto point, so a huge team fight going to be coming out here. Looks like WCU almost falls. Has a couple falls pretty early. Disagree does take out Pancakes with the turrets of Symmetra. That's the word I was trying to figure out. So there's going to be a tank battle between GoldenEye and Mighty, looking to be in favor of neither, as both are on their last limbs for life. Mighty does fall to Shadow Knight, but Shadow falling there to Eden. Pretty solid trade though. A tank for a DP or for a support. That's, you can't really win a huge fight without either.
Yeah, definitely good fight there for WCU. Losing was it 1 or 2 people early?
I think Western only lost 1, SWOSU losing 2, and what's crazy to me is that there's only one actual hero pick that's different from both teams. Tofu and Eden, Mei and Bastion. That's the main difference. Everything else is the exact same pick. Oh my gosh, and Golden takes the Reinhardt off the edge. Tofu now taking out Pancakes and Eden. It's going to be 3 quick kills for Western, looking for a 4th or a 5th even. Gets the Shatter off just to take out Ert. Walter does boop Tofu, but with that being said, Western off to a pretty handy 42% lead, and some good sportsmanship in chat from Tofu there, saying nice boop. Gotta give credit, I mean, love to see good sportsmanship in games like this. We know how toxic it can be, so seeing something like this, always a great sight. Also a great sight is how Western is playing. Not too many big picks from SWOSU onto the Mountaineers so far. And Western has the point at 70%. We will see a switch from Shadow Knight over to Moira, their favorite hero.
Yeah,
and
Mountaineers definitely taking control early here.
Very, very fast fight and control. So far, just a dominating performance from WCU. It's going to be tough for SWOSU to get back into this, as they need to. I mean, they're down both DPS, as WCU is now in the final 10%. We are in last fight territory here if SWOSU doesn't get it together.
Absolutely. WCU looks like SWOSU's going to be pushing up this middle here. Just trying to get a couple on point. Playing a little staggered, which could be. Multiple ults coming in.
Oh my gosh, and we see a fast team kill on a WCU. Oh my goodness.
It's one of the biggest team kills I've seen this semester. My goodness.
It looks like Western popped 2 of their ults. Tofu and Dis both popped their ults. Sponge, Shadow Knight both at 50%. Golden going to be the one to be approaching on, as he does reach Shatter.
Okay, so WCU, basically all they have to do here is take the point. We will see what SWOSU Gray can do.
And there's a teleport in on this with Symmetra. Eden does take out Disagree. GoldenEye finds one, gets found, and it's going to be a losing fight for WCU here. Tofu just trying to back out, get back to his team. And it's going to be Tofu falling here pretty quick, as it is all of SWOSU fighting on Western. Western had a great early control, but just popping those ults together didn't seem to work out for them.
SWOSU now past the 50% mark here. WCU still with at least 2 fights in them. We'll see how they can manage.
And, I mean, right now, the only ult that WCU is really going to have to approach on is going to be Spongy Boy with Anna's Nano. And if we can find a good Nano here, it's going to be a game changer. But nothing so far as Shadow Knight gets booped off the edge by Falter. GoldenEye finds Pancakes, Eden finds Dis, and Tofu almost falls, and it's going to be up to a tank and a DPS. Nope, just going to be up to Golden on point. Finds 2, looking to find 3, gets picked off last second as he does find his Shatter.
Yeah, this will be going into final fight territory here for the Mountaineers. They're going to have to claim this point.
I mean, this is going to be final fight overall for round 1. This is 92%. Western has to get a good fast pick on point, and they're going to be approaching on with Shatter. Eden does find 2, or Eden finds 1, Pancakes finds 3, and that is going to be a team kill in favor of SWOSU to end round 1.
Yeah, SWOSU getting a couple really solid team kills there, and that's kind of what gave them the victory.
I mean, Western really had a chance to control and just take out that first point, but unable to do so, and using 2 ults at the same time on that really is what set it apart. I think that's what really made the difference and why SWOSU was able to come back.
I would agree. Well played, though, from both teams, so I'm excited for this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, 15 seconds until we have the start of round 2. A little bit different layout on Lijiang. It's interesting, but this is, I think, one of Western's weaker parts of Lijiang. But if they can take this, they can push it to round 3, force it to be whoever wins that control. And Golden gets sent sky high on that one. Something that we haven't seen. We do see Disc taking out a Genji, something interesting. Not really a pick that we ever see from Western. Genji's not really having been a proper look for this Western squad. GoldenEye is not, or has been purpled, so not able to get healing. Looks like Tofu's going to try and go in the backline, get someone. Isn't able to find anyone. Instead, it's going to be almost a full team kill against WCU. And it's going to be Sponge trying to stay alive against a Reinhardt. That is just ruthless.
Yeah, definitely a tough fight there. That Reinhardt, that was a good play on their part, knowing that Sponge was the only player left for WCU and able to get that final kill there to slightly stagger the Mountaineers.
Control will go in favor of SWOSU, but as we saw last time, first control is not always the necessary control. And only at 22%, not a huge lead. And we'll see our next big team fight happening on the high ground. GoldenEye gets slept as he goes in trying to find anyone. Isn't able to do so. Eden does find Sponge and Dis. Now Tofu gets picked by Pancakes and GoldenEye gets taken out by Mighty. It's going to be all up to Shadow Knight, and Shadow Knight just going to back out, wait for their team.
Yeah, definitely a smart call there. Just retreating back, regrouping. Looking at ults, SWOSU with all 5 ults going to be online, as WCU is only going to have 1 coming up on 2.
One coming up on 2, but I will say that Golden surprisingly well builds his ult incredibly fast, and is really what can make this difference from Western if they are if he uses it correctly. That Shatter is unreal, and there will be the dragons coming out from Pancakes. So also being really smart and conservative with their ult usage. Now it's 70%, something that I slept on completely. It's going to be 2 quick kills onto Western, 1 DPS, 1 support. Golden will find a support in trade. Tofu gets put to sleep and shattered, and that will be a fight in favor of SWOSU.
Again, WCU getting close to this final fight territory. SWOSU popping 3 of their ults there, so only 2 remaining. WCU is going to have about 3 ults for this last fight, depending how quickly they can build up that.
I mean, this is absolutely final.
Yeah, they're going to have touch point.
Fight. They have to go in, and there will be the touch. There is going to be the Bastion coming out. Tries to find someone, not able to do so. Balter finds Dis, does use Beat, and it is going to be a Riptire coming in, not finding anyone. And it's up to Shadow and Golden to control point for Western. And right now, they're doing work against 3, but they're not able to do it. It is not quite enough. That will be game 1 in favor of SWOSU. So, unfortunate turnout for the Mountaineers, but that was a really good showing from both teams. I think what really happened in that game, too, is that SWOSU just found 1 or 2 quick picks, and that's all that was needed for them in those fights.
Yeah, SWOSU holding on well once they capture that point. Closing out the first map in a 2-0 victory. WCU played really well that first game, but unable to get it rolling there in the second one.
With that being map 1 out of the way, we'll be back here in just a second once picks and maybe some lineup changes happen as we get ready for map 2.
And we're back here for round 2. SWOSU Gray leading 1-0 over WCU Slate.
And I'm liking the music. We're here on Midtown once again. Another favorite pick of WCU. Western is going to be attacking first. They're really going to have to set the tone for this game to not to have a chance at coming back, but just to set them up better for the later rounds.
I would agree. WCU came out strong there in game 1, but just unable to finalize after getting to 99%.
I mean, right there, I think that Western really needs just to play strong, play smart. That's about all we can do. We do see a switch with Shadow Knight going to DPS and Dis playing heals. That's the first time we've seen Shadow Knight up on DPS this semester.
Yeah.
So should be interesting to see how they do and how this all works. SWOSU, as I mentioned, with WCU attacking, SWOSU defending.
Yeah, we did see a switch of sides, so now WCU is in the red and SWOSU in the blue.
Why they can't just do what Crimson and Black do and keep it easy for us, we have no idea. But that'd be too convenient, you know?
I like to keep us on our toes.
With that being said, it looks like we will be underway here, and GoldenEye going to be playing as Sigma for the moment, and it looks like it's going to be pushing through the through the building once again. And it's going to be a pretty fast team fight, but not too much to be done for the moment. Interesting thing about Shadow Knight, I can say for certain, they have just started to pick up Soldier, but they mainly play Bastion and Sojourn on DPS, so it should be interesting to see how this goes. Right now, this fight going in favor of SWOSU. Eden does get the first pick onto Tofu of this fight. Sponge gets taken out by Eden as well. Eden's going to find a third onto Shadow Knight. It's all Eden right now for SWOSU. And Golden tries to take them out and is going to back off with this to stay alive and wait for their team.
Yeah, definitely good early holdout there for SWOSU.
And now Dis running back, trying just to survive as he is getting chased by some of SWOSU. Not a lot, but just a few of them, and we will see the second fight here.
Yeah, WCU opting to go for the high ground here.
Not the worst decision I've ever seen, but I think that Western definitely plays better when they're on even field with SWOSU, or with their opponents. GoldenEye does get knocked down for a second there. Eden finds Dis. Mighty's going to find Sponge.
And both healers, DPS down.
It's up to Tofu and GoldenEye, and that's just a rough one.
WCU finally getting their first pick. They're on Eden.
Doesn't matter though, is that Bolter does pick up, or does get the rev off, and Eden will use that opportunity to take out GoldenEye. Tofu gonna retreat, get back as the rest of his team respawns. Shadow Knight almost falls there. Whew. Does end up falling to Ashe, one of the stronger one of the stronger heroes in this game, but one of the more difficult to pick up and start to play consistently and well. Looks like Western's going to be waiting for Shadow Knight to get back into the fray. And we will be getting into our third major fight.
Third fight, 1:40 on the clock for WCU to capture the objective.
3 ults online for Western, almost 5 online for SWOSU. This could be a huge team fight in favor of Western if they're able to use their ults correctly. And we will see an attempt for a flux coming from Golden, my lord. Words are hard. It's been a week and some change since we've casted, so Western right now losing this team fight. There will be a rev back onto the other support from SWOSU, and that will be a team fight in favor of SWOSU. Once again, Tofu gonna be the last remaining survivor. Gonna be taken out there by Eden.
Jeez. SWOSU with 4 ults online going into... I feel like this has to be close to the last fight. Only 45 seconds left on the clock. WCU still has yet to get on point, so...
I think what Western really needs is just one big major push onto point. If they can get 1 or 2 quick picks, namely onto that Mercy and Sigma, I think they're going to take this fight. But for now, it's just all SWOSU. They are not relenting. Disagree getting put pretty low for a second there. Shadow Knight did switch over to Sojourn. So maybe these couple of switches will benefit Western instead of inhibit. And right now, Western a few low... Oh, there's going to be a Sun Under the Mercy. Is the Mercy going to get taken here? Not quite. Eden will find Dis. Mighty will find Golden. Pancakes will find Tofu.
5 seconds left,
And that'll do it. Triple headshot there from Pancakes. Will take out WCU. GoldenEye switching to ball, maybe to get back in time, but nowhere near enough. That was a rough round for Western.
Yeah, SWOSU honestly just did a great job at stagger killing the Mountaineers there. Just kind of slowly picking them off one at a time when WCU was kind of trying to sit back to reassemble. SWOSU would just go and find them and get a kill. So tough there for the Mountaineers. WCU now is going to have to put in a lot of work, hold out SWOSU from just getting on that point.
And I think the major thing, too, is going to be that SWOSU found their angles pretty early on, and they kept to them pretty consistently.
Absolutely. WCU even did a good job of switching up. I believe they tried down low twice and up top twice. So,
ooh, an interesting pick. We will see Tofu being Hanzo and Sponge going to be Kiriko. This is Mercy. Shadow is Bastion. That's a pretty solid... That's not a bad lineup.
yeah,
I like that.
I've definitely seen Sponge on...
I've seen Sponge on Kiriko quite a bit.
Yeah, quite a bit.
I haven't really seen a Mercy coming out from Western too much. I knew that Shadow Knight was picking up Mercy. Didn't know about Dis trying that as well, but having the Bastion and Hanzo as DPS, that is going to be, like, that is just a spray and force in one way, and then using those arrows to get quick little picks as Hanzo, and that's going to probably make the difference for Western if they can hold down to their ankles, trying to hold high here. But, I mean, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where SWOSU pushes from.
Yeah,
And they're going to be going around the side.
Yeah, taking this low ground. WCU just kind of holding out, seeing... They're taking it nice and slow.
They're letting Eden take the lead as Bastion. Everyone else playing crouched and quiet, trying just to get behind, getting the teleport over.
Ooh.
That is interesting.
This is not
Oh
a
my
play
gosh.
we've seen.
I think what the main thing is here is that SWOSU knows all they need to do is get this first capture, and Western C9s.
Wow.
That was fast. I think that SWOSU has that drawn up exactly like that to be able to do what they just did. Go behind and just destroy.
Yeah, that was one of the more unique pushes that I've seen there. Well, we're going to take a break here and come back for Game 3 in just a minute. And we're back here for Game 3. SWOSU Gray leading 2-0 over WCU Slate.
And something that is interesting is Dis listened to advice from his team. Rustic Ruse coming in as a wild card DPS pick. Tofu subbing back to support, and Sponge sitting out this round. I think this is the first game I've seen Sponge sit out all semester.
Yeah, definitely a good change up after losing those first 2 games, though. WCU has to do something to try and find their rhythm.
And we are on Rialto, one of the maps that I'm not terribly familiar with, nor do I particularly like. We will see Shadow Knight as Zenyatta, Tofu as Anna, Dis as not Symmetra, Farah, my lord. I'm having a day, man. It's been a couple weeks. GoldenEye is Roadhog, and Rustic is Soldier. We will see Mighty on Sigma, Eden on Widow. Pancakes over to Hanzo. Kenny, a new sub in from SWOSU as Anna, and Balter as Baptiste.
And WCU gonna start on attack. WCU in the red, SWOSU Gray in the blue.
And here's the first fight. This is where we saw WCU Crimson a couple weeks ago just get held at this corner.
It's definitely a tough start point because, got someone going around the backside there for WCU.
It's going to be Dis going around the back, trying to do some damage, push people off. Interesting, too, we don't see Eden as Bastion for the first time all match. Eden been playing Bastion pretty well tonight, but just not doing it right now. This gets taken out by Pancakes with that multi-shot, and Rustic going down fairly low, does get taken out, and by that Sonic arrow actually.
WCU down both their DPS and tank now.
It's going to be Tofu and Shadow Knight sitting back together and just playing it slow as the rest of their team tries to get back into the fray. We'll see Rustic swapping over to Junkrat. Pretty fast switch from Rustic. Second game, I think, this season that Rustic has been in. Does get picked off by Pancakes. Eden picks off Tofu as well. My word, this is just in favor of SWOSU left and right at the moment. I think the interesting thing with Roadhog is it's not really... Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, Golden, what a play with that hook. Didn't see that one coming.
Neither did I. Well played there. Getting another hook there.
Does find a second
finish, but
I mean, getting that Hanzo low and forcing him to back off is huge. And there's going to be a wasted Baptiste ammo field. We will see the Dragons coming out from Hanzo. Not able to find anything. Looking to try and get that hook to finish. Not able to do so. Pancakes does end up taking GoldenEye down. And then Shadow Knight immediately after. It's going to be Rustic, Dis, and Tofu trying to fight this on their own. Not sure how this is going to go, as Pancakes does take out Rustic. So it's, I mean, we do see Shadow and Golden coming back in for the moment, but a minute 49 left on the clock. This is going to be a tough push to get up to this first point for Western.
Yeah, this is a very sniper-heavy lineup for SWOSU.
3 snipers and then a burst rifle shot with Balter. The one who's kind of less direct hit oriented is the Sigma, but even then, his ability of the rock is very much so. Whatever that rock is called is very much so a direct hit need. And Dis going to be trying to fly on the side on his own to do any damage he can. We will see Baptiste wall come out, or Baptiste window, and that will find, or that will, with the assist of Pancakes, find GoldenEye. Balter now finding Dis. Eden finding Shadow Knight, and oh man, it is up to Rustic and Tofu at the moment.
Down to a minute left here on the payload. Both teams with 3 ults going into this next fight. SWOSU coming up on their board.
Ooh, Tofu does get Eden taken out there, but with a trade, Tofu falls. And 40 seconds left. This is rough.
Yeah, WCU just kind of stockpiling their ults. Both teams with 4 ults now, so...
I think that GoldenEye might be switching over to Reinhardt, maybe Sigma here, just to do some damage. No, going to be Diva. to do a lot of extra damage. Dis does find Pancakes, but gets taken out by Balter. Rustic looking to find any bank shots he can. He does have Riptire to approach on, but 15 seconds left. Western really needs a huge touch, or needs to stay on this point and get to this first location, I guess, this first checkpoint. And Rustic has the Orb of Harmony now, which just gets switched off and gets sniped by Pancakes. My goodness. Mighty finds Tofu. And we'll see Transcendence coming out from Shadow Knight. And there's going to be the Dragons that don't find anyone, but WCU needs to stay on this point. GoldenEye going to be taken out of the tank. Disc gets picked off by Eden. It's going to be GoldenEye just trying to strafe as much as he can on the point by himself. Rustic finds... Oh, this is quickly turning in favor of WCU, as it is now a 2-on-4. 1-on-4. Ugh.
WCU still struggling, and they get the final kill there.
Oh my gosh, we might see a huge push coming out from SWOSU, but they might also just let WCU get this checkpoint.
It looks like they're gonna let WCU go for it. Oh, they're starting to regroup.
They do have that quick early respawn, and they will get the touch. WCU needs to stay on this point and win this fight. They do take out Balter pretty quick, and with that, I think that WCU might be able to get the checkpoint here. They're 2.3 meters away. Oh my gosh.
Is fighting to hold them. Less than a meter to go.
It's going to be one last big fight if WCU loses this, but right now that it is swinging in their favor. Mighty does pick off Tofu. The first fall, second fall coming here as Balter gets Rustic. It is now a fight in favor of SWOSU. Not something that you want to see if you are cheering for WCU. Golden out of the mech, not great, but gets the remech. This is going to be huge, especially with this Diva ult. Going to ult on point. Going to find Balter, which is going to push one off. Gets the remech, and it's just a constant fight right now. This is ridiculous. 0.7 meters. Pancakes takes out Disc. Golden's going to lose the mech. And Golden gets taken out. It's going to be a Bastion ult coming in. And, oh my gosh, less than a meter to get that first checkpoint. Western almost got it to keep themselves alive.
That was well played by both teams. Definitely one of the better fights we've seen this match. So,
I mean, aside from that first major fight coming from WCU on Lijiang, I can really say that this overall fight has by far been the best show of force from Western. So this defense is going to be more than just necessary. It's going to determine the game. It's going to determine the series.
Absolutely. WCU just honestly trying to hold on to see a game for SWOSU, looking to sweep them in 3. WCU going to have to hold them out. What was that? 96.38 meters. So WCU definitely with a big fight ahead of them, and we will see how the Mountaineers can hold them out. As far as lineup changes, pretty much changes all the way around from both teams. So
I mean, Rustic and Golden going to be keeping Shadow Knight switching over to Moira, their main at this point. Tofu going to Kiriko, a pretty great offensive support, and then Disc going to be Reaper. We're going to see Mighty as Diva to get that Diva Ditto. Eden going to be Echo. Pancakes going to be the Widowmaker this time. Balls are going to be staying as Lucio, and Kenny Dye is going to be the Moira. Rustic accidentally hits something to rebound his shot back at him. That's unfortunate. I mean, a pretty solid approach coming in there from SWOSU. Pancakes does pick off Disc pretty quick into this fight. That's not a great thing to have happen. Golden loses the mech as well. Another really bad one. Rustic does pick off Eden. Huge for WCU. It's going to be a quick res from Kenny. I mean, I don't know, man. This is looking a little bit less in favor of Western than we might have hoped out of the gate. Golden barely takes out Eden, trying just to keep his mech alive. Trying to take out this other Diva. And this payload is already halfway to the checkpoint.
Yeah, still 3 minutes on the clock. WCU trying to hold strong, though, down a healer currently, though.
I mean, A little bit of a waste of that Diva Bomb from Golden. Not a bad idea. It forces SWOSU back, but he unfortunately can't find anyone with that pick, especially as he does take out the mighty tank.
Yeah, WCU definitely struggling. Really needs to just take out this Mercy. This Mercy is just keeping everyone alive.
This Mercy is unreal. Pancakes does pick off Shadow Knight too, so getting a pick onto Pancakes is going to be huge. Golden finds it, but now it is Echo just causing havoc in the back line. And Eden does find Golden there. As a result, it's all up to Kiriko and Shadow Knight, and this might be it if WCU doesn't get back fast enough. Here comes a Riptire from Rustic.
SWOSU gets off a point. Interesting play there. Probably just watching out for the Riptire.
I mean, you can definitely hear it from far away. It's worrisome. We will see a res onto Pancakes. Going to be pretty dangerous as this is now Sombra. And Golden going to have to stay on point here if he wants to keep WCU in this series. It's going to be a Diva ult coming from SWOSU, and that'll do it. That'll do it. WCU falling 3-0 to SWOSU Gray. A tough series, a tough loss, but not something to be disappointed with. That first map of Lijiang and this last map of Rialto, pretty solid performance from WCU. Just a little bit too little too late at the end here.
Absolutely. Coming in as the underdogs, WCU did play well. SWOSU just, once they found their rhythm, it was tough to stop. So well played by both teams, and SWOSU Gray winning the victory 3-0 over WCU Slate.
But for now, I'm going to say that's going to be it for us. Join us on WCU Esports 2 in about an hour and a half as WCU Black gets ready to take on UNO. And then join us in about 2 hours as WCU Crimson takes on UBC Winton, if memory serves.
Yeah. I'm Mountain Man.
I'm JoJo's Mojo.